Hello, welcome to Firearms of America, and today I'm very excited to do the review on this 5.11 Taclite boots. These ones are 6-inch. They also have a model that is 8-inch, but I decided to start with 6-inch, do the review on these guys first and then move from where. Now, to make the long story short, for people who are in a rush, then they don't have time. If you are looking for great lightweight tactical boots in this Coyote color, which is very relevant to military situations and stuff like that, great option. Definitely recommend. I enjoyed doing everything I was doing with them, which is what we're gonna talk about next. So this is specifically for our ultimate survival boots section. So it's not just a regular review of the boots, it's actually specific to the survival situation. So we are gonna be a little bit harder on these boots than you would normally be if it was just a regular review. So different criteria that we are going to be actually making the judgment on for the survival is going to be number one is going to be the walking running length of comfort. The test that I've done for these boots was the 5-mile walk, the 3-mile run, and of course I've been wearing them all this time. It was about 5 hours. So let's start with that. I think they performed pretty good in that area. Definitely very comfortable. Now they have a special inner sole, OrthoLite. It is very soft. It takes the impact from your heel, especially whenever you're running, pretty nicely. And it is good because, and it's a little bit of a downside of this boot, the bottom sole is actually pretty stiff. So whenever it comes to actually running in this boot, it's very hard to run properly, just putting all the pressure on your toes and not having a lot of impact on your heel. It's pretty hard to do because the sole is so hard. So that's just one of my personal complaints. Pretty hard to run in them for a long time because you start feeling that pressure in your knees and your ankles because you can't really run properly. So yeah. Other than that, they're very comfortable. They do feel very comfortable on your feet. It is really easy to walk in them, and wearing them for about 5 or 6 hours that I was wearing them for, they felt really nicely, probably because of that soft OrthoLite inner sole, as you can see there. Okay, so the number 2 criteria that we making our judgment on is the stuff proof. How many different things this boot is proof. It's not waterproof. It is advertised on Amazon as moisture proof, so I would think it would be pretty good for tropical areas, like for example here in Florida. They would be fantastic because there's a lot of moisture out here. But other than that, there's really nothing much that I can say about these boots. Number 3 is the quality. There are, I believe, about 300 reviews so far on Amazon for these boots. Yep, almost 400, and they are pretty much, most of them are 5 stars. So pretty good whenever it comes to the longevity. Judging by the reviews, I didn't have them for very long. And whenever it comes to quality, you can tell that they're built very nicely. Besides, I wanted to mention that 5.11 is a fantastic company. They do make great products. I will definitely be checking out their Taclite pants they have, which are special tactical pants. Very excited to check out those one of these days. But 5.11 is a great company, very trustworthy, so you can definitely trust them whenever it comes to stuff like, for example, quality. All right, number 4 is the sole grip slip resistance. Now, what do we have here with this sole? Now, in this particular category, I like to talk about different applications, which different surfaces this boot would be really good. Okay, so the surfaces that I personally tried them on were the sand, rocky road, wet grass. Luckily it rained today, so I could try it on the wet grass. Obviously the regular surfaces like asphalt, and of course the tile with some oil on it. Just, why not? Maybe your survival situation involves, running through McDonald's kitchen or something like that. You never know. Just in case. Okay, so they are definitely sleep resistant, pretty good, and you can tell, usually slip resistance is more of a flat surface on the bottom sole. And you can see there's a lot of flat surface on the bottom sole. They're pretty good on the sand. Honestly, not pretty good. They're really good on the sand because the grooves are not very aggressive. They are very good on rocky road. Again, nothing gets stuck in the grooves. Maybe just a little bit here and there, but not that bad because they're not that aggressive. Wet grass performed very well, not slippery at all. The only thing that I would say might have a little trouble, which again, I have to say they are not designed for it. But because it's ultimate survival boots, I have to mention it. You might have a little bit of a trouble in snowy situations and icy situations because again, there's not very much aggression here on the sole, although there is a little bit, but not enough to have a good grip on, icy roads and stuff like that. But again, you have to keep in mind this boots are not designed for icy and snowy roads. So I'm being hard on them in this aspect. Number 5, temperature. They perform fantastic in the hot weather. It's Florida and it was 97 degrees today. Pretty intense. But this vents that you can actually read about more on the Amazon, link in description, they perform very well. They didn't feel hot at all, and you can see there are additional vents going here, not here, but here. They perform very well, and my feet were cool during running and walking and stuff like that, and there are vents here as well, which also there's another good, it's like a very arguable position, and you guys tell me which one do you think is better. Waterproof boots, right? If the water gets in, and it probably will if it's anything deeper than your ankle, for example, deeper than 6 inch or even 8 inch, it doesn't matter how tall your boots are, you can still get water in there depending on how deep the situation is, right? So if the water gets in there, because the boots are waterproof, they will stay wet, and obviously it's not good because you don't want to walk around with your wet feet. With these boots, however, they're not waterproof, but at the same time they will dry much faster because they have all of these vents and all of this breathability. So it's like it goes both ways. Do you really want waterproof boots, or do you want something that is not waterproof but will dry very quickly if you do get into the water? Goes both ways. Okay, so that was the temperature. Let's talk about sizing. Number 6. Now they are definitely true to the size. Normally I buy 9.5 for all my shoes and sneakers. I buy my boots at size 10, just half a size bigger to kind of release that pressure, to give more space for your toe. Just a good thing to do, I find, for myself, and also recommended for hiking boots because whenever you're walking downhill, so that you don't have that impact on your toe. Pretty good to keep in mind. Definitely true to the size. I got them in size 10 and they are a little bit bigger as anticipated. Pretty good. Number 7 is the important one here in this review, is the balance of application. So how many different scenarios can you apply this boot for? Now, there was one more complaint that I had about this boot, and I think I will put it in this particular category, is that it's not easy to get in these boots. Yes, and it is pretty ironical because on the box you have always be ready. It's pretty ironical because it takes much more time to get in this boot compared to literally pretty much any other boots that I ever tried. I don't know why, maybe the design, but you have to release the strings here, you have to release the strings from here, which is not easy, so you have to release them here, and then you have to release these because if you don't, it's just the way it is designed, it's not gonna come off very easily. Yeah, again, I'm being hard because I'm sure, we can spend extra 20-30 seconds getting into the boot, no big deal, but because it's ultimate survival, review. You know, we're looking for the ultimate boot for our survival, whatever doomsday scenario you might have in your head. I have to mention it. They will take some time to put on. Okay, now whenever we talk about the balance of application, again, like I said, I think to me it's more something that will dry faster rather than being waterproof. It's, again, it goes from person to person. So it's not my complaint that they're not waterproof. I'd rather have not waterproof, but something that will dry faster. Now, running and walking, they're very comfortable walking, but running, it might be pretty hard. I think, you know, survival situations will involve a lot of running, I think, personally. So I wish that the bottom sole was a little bit more flexible to make running easier. Now, the temperature-wise, great. The only other thing that I wanted to mention in this category is that, you know, the sole, keep in mind that if you live in a wintry, snowy, icy road situations, whatever, if your survival involves that, maybe you need to look into something a little bit different, a little bit designed more for those situations. But in tropical conditions, like here in Florida, for example, pretty good, pretty good. All right, the last one, number 8, is the price. The price of these boots is pretty competitive. They cost, this particular size is $124.99, which I think is pretty good. Most of the boots that I have reviewed so far, tactical and military boots, they were in the range of, you know, above 100 and below 150. So it falls in the same category. Pretty good. I do have a few more. Specifically, if you're looking for military or tactical boots, check out Denner Tachyon. I really like those boots. They're taller. They have 8-inch. These are 6-inch. But I think that you might, you know, find them in competition for yourself. Okay, so overall, out of 10, I would give these boots a solid 7. Can't give it more just because, you know, not very balanced sole, and just because it's kind of hard to get into them. I think that is pretty important factor. And the last of my complaints is that it's not very comfortable to run in them. It is for the first maybe mile and a half, but then you start feeling your, you know, pressure in your ankles and your knees. So I hope this review was helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can definitely let me know. If you have any requests for any, you know, specific reviews, you can also let me know in the comments below, and I will be happy to address them. This is still a new channel. We're still growing, so please subscribe if this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.